Welcome back to another SOS video. So the first boss we're covering is Vishnu, which is a new boss for the twins. The stage gimmick here is every time you do a different attribute damage, you'll gain a buff to your final damage. So 10% for each time up to 4 times and lasts for 2 turns. So it's up to 40% final damage increase. And twins can do that with their skill 1, skill 2, right? Because it's 2 elements at once. As for the boss gimmick itself, it's interesting. So they are soul link first of all, so they share the damage. And then when they take damage, they will gain immunity to the attribute that you do to the boss. So you use like a blast skill, okay, not blast, if you use a nuclear skill, it will gain resistance to nuclear for 2 turns. So it's a little bit annoying to try and brute force this with other DPS because you can make it resist. If you use An for example, this week will become resist, and it will be resist forever because you keep spamming fire moves. And the twins also have Almighty attacks, which will not trigger any of this because Almighty is a separate thing. There's no weakness or immunity to Almighty. Minions themselves are actually weak to gun, so you can actually use your gun and shoot them to knock them down, and you can do a 1 more. You can also do an all-out attack to all of them if you time it well. So here is the team. We are using twins DPS, or I guess sweeper DPS. And the reason we're using Wind over Futaba because of 2 reasons. The first reason is that the opponents can be knocked down, so you can do 1 more and all attacks. So Wind is going to buff that. Second reason is because Futaba is going to struggle to get the Data Stone because you cannot really hit the weaknesses because they can resist the weakness. So it becomes difficult to do the 1-3-1-3 rotation with her. Wind is better. I actually tried Futaba here. Futaba got about the same score as Wind, so might as well just use Wind here, right? Then you can save Futaba for the other side. Now for the twins, make sure you give it the Fire Eyes and Blast Nuke because that's the... not Blast Nuke, Blast Curse because that's the sweeper role. Then Revelation card, of course, we're running the Nativity and Power. Then they have the 5-star weapon. Then the stat screen. Just make sure that they slows in the team. They do not get any speed passive from this because if you run strategies, you do get speed buff, but if you're running sweeper, you don't. So they will depend on the base speed stat here. Then we have Court, who is going to run Trust and Prosperity for faster highlight and 5-star weapon. The stat screen. So our sustain. So this stage hits pretty freaking hard. Even Cherish is gonna be a little bit RNG. It's okay-ish to tank, but you do want to do a skill 2 rotation instead of a skill 1. Because typically you do a skill 1 rotation when you are not using a Fox team. But here you actually need to do some skill 3 and skill 2 to give the defense buff and the shield for more sustain. If you can tank well, you can just do a skill 1. But actually skill 1, even skill 1 I don't really recommend because skill 1 can remove the inside stacks of the boss and the minions also. So the key to this fight is to not remove the inside stacks using a resisted move because that will not knock down the enemies. So you want to always use a neutral hit to knock down. Then you can do a 1 more. It's running the Faith and Peace for defense. We only have the 4-star weapon, set screen. Now for Navigator, we are using Wind because of, again, this passive. For more all-out attack and 1 more damage to increase your points a bit more. It's running Resolve Label. Integrity Label will be better, but I don't have the cards. 5-star weapon at R1, set screen. For Dagger, I'm running Starry Compass because I don't think Ex Machina is that useful here. Because the twins highlight itself is a Bless and Curse highlight. Bless and Curse highlight is this one. And Ex Machina can only choose one element. You can only choose like Almighty or Bless or Curse, right? So using Starry Compass, you will buff everything, including your teammates' damage if you can do any damage. Also, the nice thing about Sweeper Twins is that this skill can buff damage. This is a very good skill. And the highlight is they can also use the best highlight for the twins, which is the one that buffs damage and attack. This one, the Mask of Service, Mask of Mischief, this one, body damage and attack increase. So the Sweeper is actually pretty good. I've done a bit of testing so far. Even on Guild Boss, they perform pretty decent, pretty well actually. More impressive than I initially thought. But yeah, I will save that for the final review video. But anyways, for Personas, we are running Kailux for the Revolution, for Creep. We have Uzume for What Thunder or Maziodyne for the Shock. Then we have Yelanger here, using Yelanger to pair with Amino Uzume's Shock. Then you need to give him Rebellion. So if you're using an A1 twin, I don't think you probably shouldn't even use Yelanger here. Yelanger is better for A0 because we only skill 3 2 times in a battle, turn 3 and turn 6. And we can just swap to Yelanger for those 2 turns. If you're using A1, you're gonna use Almighty skill for like 4 times, which means that your Yelanger becomes less useful. So it might actually just put Dionysus here. But doing that will also sacrifice Dionysus on the other side. So for A0, Yelanger can be put here, so I can save Dionysus for Haru for turn order. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter about these 2, but 3 and 4 must be these 2. This fight is also commentary only because they hit hard, so it's annoying to do a live commentary. So on the first turn, we do a revolution of the crit. You're using A1 twin is gonna be easier. Not easier, but more damage. You skill 3 Cherish, skill 2 from Court. If you don't want Cherish, you can run Marion. Oh, some more you need for the other side, but hopefully you are Marion. But yeah, I'm just too lazy to test for this side because just a lot of RNG with the tanking. So I just gave up trying to test for Marion. And also this side is also Cherry is very good here because the boss can spam Magaruda and stuff. But you can trigger the Cherry's passive for damage. If you skill 1 with Wind, make sure you target the one that has no insight. Very important, so you don't double it. Then you can do a Bless and Curse highlight from the twins. Or before that, you change to Yolanga first for the crit damage. Then you use the Bless and the Curse highlight. Do some damage. This also knock down some of them. Then you can start doing a bit of chaining. Actually, did I even chain? I forgot. No, I think I messed up here. What's this? Oh, it didn't have insight. Oh, okay. Then we do Mazio or Mod Thunder for the shock. I got a very lucky shock here. It's 5 out of 5. Then we can just chain, do Almighty Attack. Just make sure you don't use like other elements because you will give the boss resistance because of the boss gimmick. So best to use like an Almighty Attack unless you can chain. If you can chain, you can try that. And when you chain, right, make sure you use a neutral attack on the one that's inside. Because if you use a resisted attack on the one that's inside, it will not knock down. That's very important. And then we do a skill 2 here to give a bit of shield. Then we just gun to knock down. Just make sure you knock down everything. Then I'm just going to shoot the one that is still weak to do a bit more damage. Then the middle boss is inside. So I can just use one more. Use a twin Almighty Attack. Knock down and trigger all attack. For some damage. And you do a Fire Ice to attack the middle one. So give the fire resistance, but doesn't matter at this point because the next fire skill is going to be 2-3 turns from now. And just tank. So they kind of alternate between like single attacks, single target attacks and AoE attacks. And now it's all AoE. Then you do a Wind skill 3, just heal. And the insight will always be given to the boss first. If the boss has insight, that usually gives to the one next to the boss. You can do Rebellion longer. Because it's a big damage turn. Then we do a skill 3 from Cherish to give sustain. And here we do a Court highlight. We do a Court highlight here because you have to buff the damage. And I found out the Twins highlight, the Fire and Ice buff highlight is better than Court highlight. The reason is because, I mean, in terms of number they are about the same, but the Twins highlight lasts for 2 turns, meanwhile Court highlight only lasts for 4 actions. So we use a Court highlight first, so we can save the final highlight, final Fire Ice highlight in the last turn. Now we twin skill 3 with the Almighty Attack to do some good damage. Then I think no, we cannot really chain, no one else has inside. Just do Almighty Attack. And just the tank. You can see that Cherry's passive keeps activating the Flower Knight's Devotion. But we have like max stacks already for the crit damage. We do a skill 3 from Wind. Heal, but everybody full HP already. And this will give another insight. And we do a revolution. Then skill 2. Skill 2 whoever, or skill 2 the twins because I think the twins will most likely die. Then we do a skill 2 from Court. Then we do a bless and curse. You make sure you do not attack the one that's inside. You can see that everybody is resisted. And if I'm not wrong, if I do a attack on whichever inside one, nothing will happen because they are resisted. Because last time we used a highlight, right? The bless and curse highlight. So all of them are resisted right now. You need to tank. They do hit really hard though. Very annoying. I have to pray that I didn't hit the twins. Yeah, as long as you survive until here, you should be fine. Because the last thing is an AoE attack. The AoE attacks are not that bad. Then win skill 1, make sure you hit the one that's not inside. And now we can do a fire ice highlight from the twins. Just to buff the damage. And this lasts for 2 turns also, which is nice. This highlight is actually really strong. Then we do a Walk Thunder and pray for shock. 4 out of 5, which is actually pretty good because I can actually so knock everything down, which is nice. Then we can do an auto attack here. Sadly, no one more, but yeah. Then we do a skill 3. Then on Court's turn, we can actually do a skill 1. I was trying to check who has shock and who doesn't because I got 4 out of 5, right? So I have to check which one has no shock. And I checked, I think it was, no, not this one, this one. Yes. This one has a shock, and it's this one. The third Garuda. Double checking the shock. Then I can do a skill 1 to shock it. Then now I will have 5 out of 5 shocks. So this is pretty much a flawless run. Okay, not flawless, but the one more mechanic can be better optimized. But it's decent enough. We do a fire ice skill. Buff some damage also. And this should be okay because the AoE attacks are not that bad. It's only the single target one. Then we do a wind skill 3. Then your longer rebellion. And here we can just do a basic attack from Cherish because I don't have SP. And we can do some chaining. I think I messed up here. I think I should have attacked the Garuda. I should attack the Garuda because the Garuda still was inside. I think I didn't see it, sadly. But yeah. It's annoying that they don't show. Sometimes they don't show because there's a lot of icons already. But now we do a DPS highlight here, Bless and Curse from the Core Skill 3. Then we can do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody can. We got one more. Because all the insects are gone already. Then we can do another highlight, Bless and Curse. Everything is resisted, but it still does pretty good damage. Could be because of the final damage buff that they got from the stage effect. Then we do a skill 3, the Almighty Attack for big damage. That's a lot of damage. That's like 1 million 5 times, so that's like 5-6 million points. Final score was 35.8, almost 36 million, which is pretty good. For the other side, we have the flying snake thing, which is the Haru boss. So he has the same special effect here, which I will not repeat. And sadly for Haru, it's not really effective because Haru only has like side damage, and I believe the gun is also considered side damage, so you actually don't get the buff. But the boss gimmick itself, nothing much, it's just Soul Link, that's all. And it takes 20% more damage from gun attacks. Now for the team, we are doing a Saomoko and Leon team, because Leon is just, other than the twins, Leon is going to be your next best support. You can try F4 Reader, but F4 Reader I tried it, not as good. And it's annoying to build a rotation around her because you need to attack to get the stacks to her. So let's go through Haru. Haru gonna do the damage of course, and she's gonna run Wisdom and Pleasure as 5-star weapon. So just make sure that you have 150% accuracy in battle. If you're running Saomoko, you have 5-star weapon and you have Starry Compass, you should have 150%. Then our sustain and emerald accuracy buffer is Saomoko. She is running Harmony Power. for her own attack buff and also side damage buff to Haru. And for star weapon, if you don't have Sawamoko, you just run whichever healer you have and just try to get as many armor upgrades as possible as well. If you cannot get 150, at least get 100. And Leon is of course our buffer. He's gonna run Trust and Prosperity, 5-star weapon, side screen. And your character could be Futaba, so like I already explained, Futaba is here and not other side because other side favors win a bit more with the one more. And Futaba also have difficulty charging on the other side for the data stone. So using Futaba here, he's running Integrity Label, 5-star weapon, side screen. So we're gonna run Side Compost obviously. I don't think there's any debate, it's the best tiger for our Haru team. And for personas, we have Dionysus with Rebellion and Revolution. Then our debuffer we have Magarodine from Vishnu. So mine is a overclock, max overclock. If you do not have him at max overclock, you can consider trying Cert Marakunda or just use Shiva. So you can kind of experiment around, but the best combo I found was max overclock, Vishnu, and Rebellion Revolution from Dionysus. So the last persona is gonna be Fantastic. We're not gonna use it. For turn order, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make sure your Leon is moving before your healer, so that Leon can reduce the HP to try and trigger the A6. You won't be able to do that every time because sometimes the boss just don't hit Haru and you cannot get it below, but just to improve consistency, just put it for the healer. First turn Rebellion. The rotation should be easy to follow, there's no crazy changes. Here we just skill 3. Any changes as in this pattern is like consistent for all the characters. Sawamoko skill 2, just make sure your Leon is moving before your Sawamoko. So that Leon can possibly reduce HP before Sawamoko heals to trigger the A6. Then we do Futaba skill 1. Then Magarodine, pray for Windswept. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 is pretty good. We do a Haru highlight. Then on skill 2, you see what I mean now? Now we can reduce the HP of Haru to below 60%. Then when we heal up, it doesn't matter anymore because we already triggered it. Skill 3. I'm just gonna tank. We should be fine as long as I don't attack the same character 3 times in a row. Okay. I think I jinxed it. Okay, good. Attacking Haru is most ideal because so that we can, again below 60% for Leon A6. But it's fine, it's too much RNG. Wait, is that 60%? I don't think so. Nope. Then we do Revolution. Leon skill 3. Skill 2. Then we do a Dionysus highlight to buff. Then we ready the gun. Then Rebellion. Wonder's gonna repeat the rotation again. Leon skill 2. Skill 3. Skill 1 from Haru. Skill 1 with Taba. Above the defense, then we do Makarudan again. Pray for Windswept. Oh my god, that's beautiful. That's crazy. Then we do a Leon highlight. So buff the crit damage from A4. Skill 3. Then we skill 2 with Moko. And skill 3. Just hit Haru, please. Hit Haru. The most ideal is hitting Haru. To get a HP low. I guess not. Unfortunate. It's fine. Just do skill 3. Then we do Revolution. Skill 2. That does 75% I think. Skill 3. In the last turn we have a Haru highlight, then we can't. Then we can't. We didn't trigger the A6 sadly, but it should be 23, 24, 24, that's pretty good.